Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA NEWS24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. The headlines. Federal government and Academic Staff Union of Universities reach agreement to avert planned strike action. Ekiti State Police parades alleged suspects behind recent street killings in state capital. Kogi State Government molds establishment of rehabilitation and skills acquisition centers to combat drug abuse. Well, it's cheering to now let you know that Nigeria will remain obstinate in turning the tide against drug abuse to safeguard the well-being of present and future generations through coordinated countermeasures as contained in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's message at an event to mark the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Oluseyi Adagbo reports that the World Drug Day is marked on June 26th every year, and this year's event is themed Evidence is Clear, Invest in Prevention.
The global challenge of drug abuse and illicit trafficking continue to take toll on millions of lives worldwide, and communities are grappling with the consequences. In UNODC's reports, drug use prevalence currently is 3 times higher in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu's response explains vigor injected into the country's drug control efforts, and the 2024 World Drug Day theme resonates national readiness to redouble the cause.
I urge each one of you to join hands in this noble cause. Investing in prevention today will yield dividends of a healthier, safer tomorrow.
While cannabis remains the main drug sourced, trafficked and used in Nigeria, Nigeria's Drug Law Enforcement Agency is proud of its record of achievements in mounting an unprecedented criminal justice response to drug trafficking.
Nigeria will continue to contribute positively in the global effort to contain the consequences of illicit substances. As we commemorate the World Drug Day, let us renew our commitment to prevention.
So the most important place where this prevention fight starts from is actually the education sector. And we will do our own part.
Drug use in Nigeria is a public health crisis which cannot wait. It is now the time to make prevention the priority.
But then there's the issue of investment. The private sector should be contacted, should be called upon through the corporate activities. It's our country that we are serving.
The meeting of global partners and national players involved in fighting the psychoactive drug menace featured the launch of Save Our Families campaign.
Meanwhile, amidst the ongoing battle against drug abuse and trafficking in Kogi State, the government has announced plans to establish a rehabilitation and skill acquisition center to support victims of drug addiction. The governor's wife, Safinatu Dodo, revealed this during an event at the Government House held to commemorate this year's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Jonathan Omajali reports.
Like many states, Kogi faces a multifaceted menace that threatens its core: drug abuse and illicit trafficking. The rise in crime rates has been partly driven by this complex issue. In response, mothers and stakeholders gathered at the Government House in Lokoja to confront this common enemy as the world marks this year's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking.
Let me also use this occasion to call on the general public that the war against drug abuse requires the support of everybody. Therefore, I call on the general public to cooperate and support us with provision of useful and credible information. If you see something, say something.
Sefinatu Dudu, the wife of the governor of Kogi State, represented by Margaret Salifu, the wife of the deputy governor, emphasized that the government will continue to support the Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the fight against this menace.
Indeed, the agency is doing well and we will continue to support them.
She appealed to mothers to play a greater role in raising a generation of children who will reject drug addiction. She announced plans to establish a rehabilitation center for the treatment of those battling addiction and related health challenges.
I am pleased to announce the establishment of rehabilitation center in Kogi State, along with skill acquisition center for our youth.
In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Federal government, through the Federal Minister of Education, has commenced talks on issues of concern in tertiary institutions with the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Zenret Digmam reports that what ought to be an inaugural biannual meeting of management and university-based union in Federal Minister of Education and its agencies gave way for the talk.
Given the present administration's desire to revamp Nigeria's education sector, always engage players in dialogue, and avert the threats to education, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, seized the opportunity to engage the body in an extended discussion behind closed doors. Both parties agreed that terms for discussions have been reached, as ASU had long awaited the opportunity for dialogue with the present administration on issues dear to them.
We'll be having, non-public meetings. We're having that. That's why we have this very cordial family relationship. So when there's an issue like this, we can sit down and talk to ourselves. There's no gap, no bridge at all, no obstacle, to having a conversation. But the important thing is that we'll have a shared understanding of the issues and we'll have set in place the motion and the pathway for addressing them.
We have assignment to some people to look at, send 1 or 2 committees to also look at them, and then we have agreed on the way forward. Now our prayer is that this process should go the way it is, and let's resolve this issue as quickly as possible for the interest of our young men and women and for the interest of the nation.
ASU promised to brief its members as further discussions continue. In Abuja, Zenret Digmam, NTA News.
And Nigeria will continue to play the leading role in propagating public relations practices that will strengthen global network and add value to socio-economic transformation worldwide. This was when the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, played host to the President Global Alliance of Public Relations Practitioners, Professor Justin Green, and his counterpart, the African Public Relations Association, Arik Karani, on a courtesy visit. The visit, led by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Kaneliako, is part of activities marking Diamond Anniversary celebrations of NIPR.
And I assure you that this ministry, this government, this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will continue to provide an enabling environment for everybody within the communication industry, the fair practice itself, to thrive in this country. And I know, and you know, that the president, being a Democrat himself, is always desirous of ensuring that every democratic principle is being put into place so that Nigeria will even advance its cause for democracy.
You are at the forefront. You are leading the profession. And that is not just in Nigeria. It's not just in Africa. It's around the world. So I applaud the Minister for his commitment. I applaud the President of NIPR.
This was, for the longest time, the only country in Africa that had a law that professionalized public relations. It was Nigeria that started it.
Support Nigeria.
They are here to support NIPR. They are here to promote public relations to the Nigerian community because they know that the only missing point in any nation is their inability to capture the essence and practice of public relations.
The President Global Alliance of Public Relations Practitioners acknowledged Nigeria's leading role in promoting public relation practices as an eye-opener to the world. Major federal roads in Akwa Ibom State affected by flooding due to blocked drains are now receiving the attention of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA. Clement Barikui reports that the exercise involves desilting of concrete line drains and carriageways.
This 22 kilometers Ikorokui-Kono-Uyo-Itu road connects to the Calabar-Itu highway. The last time community members saw open drains on both sides of the road was 17 years ago, when it was constructed by the then administration of Governor Gasula Kpabio.
We have suffered a lot here because of flooding. I want to appreciate this intervention by FEMA.
I was surprised to see that there's water here. So it's a wonderful work. We appreciate the work. We appreciate the government.
The exercise is being executed through direct labor.
We have been doing the sitting of seated line drain, other roads. This time around is the turn of this road to be desilted. You have seen the defects on some section of carriageway.
At the Ikorekpene Arim Road, motorists are appreciating the federal government for empowering FEMA to carry out an emergency repairs on the road, a situation they say has ended their nightmares.
Since they've patched this road, you can even see our vehicle now, we can drive freely.
The managing director and chief executive of FEMA, Dr. Chukwuemeka Agbaze, had earlier flagged off the exercise in Kogi State. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Let's move over to Ekiti State now, where the police command has paraded 21 suspects for various crimes ranging from armed robbery, cultism, illegal possession of arms, and murder. Tayo Osho reports that those paraded include some of the suspects involved in recent killings and arrests in Ado-Ekiti.
Those paraded at the police headquarters in Ado-Ekiti include suspected cultists who were involved in the recent killing of some people in Ado-Ekiti as a result of a clash with a rival cult group. The police public relations officer Sunday Abutu says they have confessed to the crimes, while efforts are ongoing to arrest others who are still at large. A gang of suspected armed robbers who were allegedly responsible for some of the robberies in Ado-Ekiti and Ikere-Ekiti alongside a jailbreaker who connived with his gang members to break the correctional center in Ado-Ekiti that led to the escape of 220 inmates were also paraded. Others were paraded for crimes like conspiracy, stealing, and attempt to kidnap.
Undoubtedly, the command shall continue to prioritize the safety of lives and properties of all the good people of Ekiti State, while warning criminal elements to turn a new leaf, stay clear, or risk facing the full wrath of the law.
Items recovered from them include 2 AK-47 rifles, 4 AK-47 magazines, live ammunitions, 2 locally made pistols, and suspected stolen motorcycles. The police spokesman says the suspects will be charged to court after conclusion of investigation and urged the people to be security conscious.
The Nigerian Police Force Ekiti State Command says efforts are still ongoing to rid the society of crime. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
Well, this is the news at 10 on NTA NEWS24. We'll take a break now. More reports when we return. Glad to have you back. The cliché that women are weaker vessels does not in any way reflect the scenario at the Abuja National Park Service. Female rangers joined their counterparts across the globe to celebrate the 2024 World Female Rangers Week, a day set aside to celebrate women who invest their natural protective tendencies in the preservation of wildlife and biodiversity. Yours truly was there. That's women, setting gender aside, while exhibiting brevity and prowess in the rare competition of stripping and assemblage of AK-47 rifles as part of activities marking the 2024 World Female Rangers Week of the National Park Service, Abuja.
Women are the first line producers. They are the stewardship, that is the caretakers of the land. No wonder they always say Mother Earth. And everything about women is just a mother. And so we are urging the young generation to come in full swing, to pick up this career in wildlife conservation.
If they can increase the number of female rangers to carry out the role of conserving biodiversity, it will go a long way in mitigating climate change.
If the government can only consider and look at our plight, especially, you can see how the women were able to assemble guns. That means we can go to the bush and we can do a lot of things.
Above all, it is a celebration of the invaluable contributions of women towards preservation of the depleting natural resources and mitigating wildlife crime as a worthy venture, reinforced by Conservator General, Abuja National Park Service, Dr. Ibrahim Musa Goni.
I want to assure all female rangers we are going to give you the same opportunity with your male counterpart. And when I challenge you with a responsibility, I try to see the best from you. What we see in you can prepare you for higher responsibilities.
The paper presentations and awards to the CG and winners of Best Rifle Handlers is a testament to the unwavering commitment to push an advocacy of saving natural resources.
Indeed, there is dignity in labor, and what a man can do. You know the rest of the story, having watched that outing today. The theme for the 2024 World Female Rangers Day, supporting women, saving biodiversity, is a clarion call for women to join the bandwagon and make up the paltry 11% of world female rangers in the task of protecting wildlife and conserving biodiversity. In Abuja, Minna Daniels, NTA News.
A business ventures of 46 widows received a boost as the Humanitarian Foundation seal empowers them with loans and grants in Abuja. Joseph Otsen has details.
A moment to be grateful, each with a difficult story to tell about widowhood. Ladi Emmanuel, a mother of 5, living in Gwagwalada, Abuja, lost her husband in 2011.
He don't allow me to do anything, but after his death, when I find out that things are not doing well again, the brothers don't even know if we are existing. So I have to start looking for how to get money to do business. I think it was my brother gave me little money to start business, but because of the challenge was too heavy on me, before I look for what the children will eat and all that, the money finished.
Lad is one among many other women going through the challenge of widowhood. One after another, those here step out to collect a check, either a grant or a loan facility from SIL Foundation to support whatever business they engage in.
I'm selling yam, charcoal, and firewood.
So this money is going to the business?
Yes.
Selling bread, which I make by myself. I call that bread homemade bread. But at the time, being that, I'm single, when my husband died, things changed. Nothing was forthcoming.
If you know that...
Charity Lawson is the Chief Executive Officer of SIL Foundation.
Where they live or where they do businesses, you will know who is better than the other. Some of them do not really need help, but they just come forward. And when we assess those people, we keep them aside and then work with the people who are really in need.
We also provide counseling for them. So there's guidance and then there's follow-up as well. So we have quarterly follow-ups to know how they're spending the money.
We talk to them about their health. We talk to them about their hygiene. We talk to them about their children.
Since inception 4 years ago, SRL Foundation says it has supported not less than 2,800 individuals to rebuild their lives. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
We're now joining the live broadcast of the NRPR International Diamond Anniversary Colloquium in Abuja.